This is The Joe Gaither Show on BamaCentral.com.
Good morning, Tuscaloosa. Good morning, Tuscaloosa, Internet World, West Alabama. How are we doing today on a Monday? It's September 15th, and you're listening to the Joe Gaither Show on Bama Central, BamaCentral.com. You're watching us on the Bama Central YouTube channel, on the Bama Central Facebook page, or you're listening to us on your favorite podcast platform, Apple Podcasts, Amazon, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. You can find the Joe Gaither Show on Bama Central. You can always find us in the Derek Daniel State Farm Studios. We're right here off of McFarland Boulevard, just past Tiger Rock and Rustic Rehab on the left. Call Derek for all of your insurance needs at 205-758-3391. Like a good neighbor, Derek Daniel is there. Home, life, auto insurance needs, renters, boaters insurance, trailer insurance. You can call Derek for all things insurance, 205-758-3391. We're going to be having a lot of fun today talking about Alabama's game against Wisconsin. Alabama beating Wisconsin 38-14. So we'll talk all about what went right, what went wrong, and what we've got to think about going into the bye week and going into the next matchup against the Georgia Bulldogs. With our man Theo Fernandez. Oh, gotta mute your there we go. So we don't get the double sound there. You can follow Theo Fernandez at Theo Fernandez __ on the Twitter machine. You can follow me at Joe Gaither6. You can go ahead and send us a comment, question, query, or complaint to either of those places, or you can call us on the voicemail line. We got 2 voicemails in the tank over the weekend. You can call us at 205-462-7340 extension 800 if you want to be a part of the program. We're gonna talk mostly Alabama, Wisconsin, with several different aspects. Theo, we're going to talk about the offensive line. We're going to talk about Ty Simpson. We're going to talk about Ryan Williams. We're going to talk about Ryan Grubb. We're going to talk about LT Overton, just a little bit of everything with the Alabama football game. So make sure you jump in and join us on the comment section at Joe Gaither6, at Theo Fernandez _, and at Bama Central. Good morning, Theo. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing great today, Joe. How are you?
Oh, good. I was hoping for just a little more.
Okay.
How was the weekend? What else do I got to toss to you to give me 2 minutes at Theo Fernandez?
Yeah, I can fill some time here. It was a great weekend. I had a fun time at Bryant-Denny Stadium. Very much enjoyed watching that game up in the press box. Did not enjoy my Sunday as much because the New York Giants decided, let's make Theo very happy for a brief period of time and then rip his heart out by just completely forgetting how to play defense. Shane Bowen is the worst defensive coordinator I think I've ever seen the New York Giants have. He does not know what he's doing at all. He knew he was going up against Brandon Aubrey, who is insane on any long-distance field goal. We knew the Cowboys needed 15 yards with 25 seconds to score a touchdown. And what does he do? He drops every cornerback 15 yards off the receiver. Dallas has got the easiest 17-yard gain they will ever have, allowed Aubrey to kick a 64-yarder. And then Russell Wilson just closes his eyes and throws in double coverage in overtime. There are many times that I don't like being a Giants fan. And the good news is we're 0-2, and we get to play the Chiefs and the Chargers the next 2 weeks. So this season is just off to an incredible start.
Yeah, I punted on the Bears NFL game middle of the third quarter yesterday. I was like, I'm not watching this slop anymore.
Yeah, I mean, when you have a performance like that,
absolute slop.
See, Lions fans cursing out Ben Johnson.
Yeah, good for them. To the victor goes the spoils.
Yeah, rough first 2 games, huh?
Oh, and it's going to get worse. We're going to be in the running for the number 1 pick.
How you feel about Caleb?
Mostly fine. It's not his fault yet. He's growing. You don't have a defensive line. You don't have an offense you don't have a running back. You don't have a left tackle. You can't move the football unless it's all on Caleb Williams. Yeah, mostly fine. DJ Moore's not giving any effort. It's not Caleb's fault. Caleb is the face, and so everybody asks about him. But it's it's actual football. It's not just it's not just diva stuff. No defense, no heart, no effort, loser mentality, loser culture. They've got the loser culture is deeply ingrained in the roster, and so I think that they should sell everything of value,
including DJ Moore.
Yes,
Okay.
for DJ Moore first.
Hey, Roma Doomsday won me my fantasy matchup.
There you
so
go. That's
I'm
all
happy.
that's all that matters. You're 2-0 right there. Great. What these people don't want to hear about our football, our
They do
bad
not.
NFL football teams and our middling fantasy football squads. What do we want to start with this Alabama game? First, let's go general. What'd you think of the game? That's what I always ask all the players. Hey, Kai, Deontay Lawson, what'd you think of the game?
I was impressed today. I was very impressed by the front seven. I think this was, without a doubt, their best performance of the season. I mean, actually being able to finish on plays, make the sacks, Overton Rousseau getting in on the fun. Even London Simmons had a sack even. I mean, there was a lot going on up front that really kind of dissuaded some of my doubts. Thought the offense really flown in the beginning. Ty, I continue to feel great about him. Not great for the Mason Woods agenda there.
Jeez.
Yeah, bad day in the office there.
Mason is fully cooked at this point. And unless Ty just goes out against Georgia and looks terrible, which I think is only about a 5% chance. Keep going.
Yeah, like I don't see Ty. I think I've seen enough to say that I have some level of confidence in Simpson now. I know that you've watched the O-line a bunch. I know we have some stuff to kind of pick apart there, but how about Ryan Williams? I mean, that's what we needed out of him. You end that streak of, 10 games without 100 yards. I think its last one was Georgia. There's nothing you can really say about him now after that performance. He could have had that third touchdown that he probably should have pulled in.
That's what you can say about him.
That's what you can say, but when that's one play in a mixed in with a variety of incredible moments, it's hard to be that critical of Ryan right now.
It's not that hard.
I mean, you can, and the drop was bad. He did own up to it in the pressers, took accountability. I'm not super concerned there.
Oh, no, not super concerned, but 6'4", 155. I bet that about 15 yards. So that would have been, 165, right?
That one's
that would have put me at
170.
Yeah, 6'4", basically 6 for 180 and 3 touchdowns. Looks a lot better.
Yeah, it does.
Looks like an actual superstar.
Especially, let's be real, like the offense did kind of, teeter off a little bit down the stretch.
Yes.
You have 35 points with 11 minutes left in the third, and then you end with 38. So I don't know. Did they just lose their fire, or that's what it seemed like to me? They kind of stopped caring out there.
Yeah, so let's start with the offense. That seems like a fine place to start. Alabama scores 38 points. And okay, before we do that, let's go to the big picture general question you hear. Bama moving up to 14 in the AP poll after the victory. And so you were at 8, you dropped to like 21, and then you're at 19, and now you're at 14 or so in the AP poll. And so you're going up against Georgia next week. Is Bama back? Bama was dead after the first week. Is Bama back? Bama and the Crimson Tide are back. Are they back, Theo?
I'm not ready to say it. I just think that, ULM, basically a high school team, FSU or Wisconsin is a Big Ten bottom feeder. They will be this year, and I am not going to say anything until I can see this team go into Athens and compete. It's not a must-win game. I mean, it almost is, but with how many more opportunities there are to prove yourself, it's not necessarily a must-win. But if I see Bama go out and do anything less than take Georgia to down to the wire, I think we're almost back to where we were week 1, having some of those, at least as far as the discourse goes, I think people will be having a lot of those same conversations we saw 2 weeks ago. So I think it all, and I said this after FSU, it all hinges on what can you do September 27th in Athens. And I'm still, I think, at that point with this team.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's exactly right. It was a good performance against Wisconsin. It was good performance, and it was good performance against ULM. But quite frankly, I don't give a rip about good performances there. We were in the press box during the middle of the ULM game, and I was speaking to Tighter Insider, Mr. Rodney Orr, and Rodney's fantastic, absolutely fantastic. And we were kind of just we weren't having a huge deep conversation, but we were talking about what it means, what the ULM performance was meaning. And he said, it's a baby step. It's a baby step. And I'm like, that's exactly right. It's a baby step. It is a baby step in the right direction. And I think the Wisconsin game was another baby step in the right direction. I think if you look under the hood of the Wisconsin game, you will find lots of things to work on. The ULM game, not as much, because it was basically one-way traffic, and ULM didn't really offer any resistance at all. Wisconsin offered you a little resistance, but as Theo said, they're going to be a Big Ten bottom feeder. They are not a good football team. Obviously, you're playing against their backup quarterback. We talked about that a lot last week, and their skill position players. You saw the one skill position player that I thought was dangerous have a couple opportunities to make some plays. Vinny Anthony with a kickoff return for a touchdown, and he smoked Sabian Brown. But Danny O'Neal put up a duck and let ZB get back in the play, and credit Sabian Brown, he stuck with it, didn't give up on the play. Yep, all the things that you should have done. Basically made a pass breakup on a bad ball that should have been like a 70-yard touchdown, because he smoked Sabian Brown off the line. If you got a quarterback that can deliver that football well, that's another 14 points. Like, basically, Wisconsin was inept. Wisconsin couldn't run the football. They didn't have the manpower up front. They didn't have really. I mean, I like Cade Giacomelli just for his fun name, but they didn't really have the skill players in the backfield. It was basically, let's just try to get Vinny Anthony going a little bit, and you didn't have a quarterback that could throw him the football. So it wasn't really like doing backflips in the press box after Alabama beats Wisconsin 38-14. Obviously, that last little quarter, we're moving down from the press box to the field, and yeah, it totally felt like foot off the gas. Foot off the gas. Lazier Brooks drops a wide open pass on third down that would have kept the offense on the field, and the defense kind of let up a little bit, and Danny O'Neal found himself a touchdown pass. But no, Bama is still far from being back. You've got to put on a good performance against Georgia, and you can't turn around the next week and you get punked by Vanderbilt, because Vanderbilt will try to punk you. You saw them go into South Carolina and just punch them in the face over and over and over again. Like, this Alabama team still has a lot of questions. A lot of questions. Like 2-1, good. I mean, all you can do, we talked about it last week, Theo, all you can do is beat the team that's on your schedule, right? Play well and beat the team that's on your schedule. But there's a lot tougher opponents on this schedule than both ULM and Wisconsin. And so I'm not overly, I had somebody say, oh, are you more sure that Kalen DeBoer is the right guy after the win? And I sent back in quotes more. I said more, I guess, a little, like 1%. But I've always been in Coach DeBoer's kind of like corner that he's a good coach. I just thought after that Florida State game, it's time to look around and see if there's an exit from this corner. But no, I think he is still. I mean, that was never a question. Like, it was absurd to talk about firing Coach DeBoer after a second year. Like, that was an absolute absurd, insane perspective to have. And like, you're Alabama fans, it's fine that if you had it, but just recognize that's a little bit of a wild thought. So I was never sitting here saying we need to fire Coach DeBoer, but I don't think this team is, quote, back as far as, that's a national championship team. You've got problems on the offensive side of the football, and you still have big questions on the defensive side of the football. Let's start with the offense here, Theo. Because you put up 38 points, and great, like, that's a good number. That's a really good number. That should be good to beat basically anyone in the country. I was impressed with Ty Simpson.
Yes.
I was really impressed with Ty Simpson, his command of the offense. Ty Simpson going, where's my stat broadcast? Going 24-29 for 382 and 4 touchdowns. He also broke in 6 rushes for 25 yards. Ty Simpson, your leading rusher at 25 yards. And what? Only 2 of these 6 rushes were called quarterback runs, I believe. I didn't write that number down.
Yeah, a lot of it was just him.
Right.
Trying to
He bails out
extend.
the offensive line. He one of Caden Proctor's 2 pressures. He Houdini's out of and gets yourself 19 yards. So there's most of his 25 yards right there on that one play. And then he's got sack yardage kind of bundled into that 25 yards. So really probably ran for about 33 yards or so after with losing several yards on the one sack, which Richard Young, golly, you don't have a running back that can pass protect at all right now.
It's been dreadful to watch.
Oh my, it's horrific. So Ty was amazing to me. Ty, his ability to read the field, and I mean particularly, and I gushed with him out in the post game about the Jeremy Bernard deep end cut, because to me watching that from watching that from the press box and seeing it from the up top as it was happening, it was like, does he see it? Oh my gosh, he's right on time, and he delivers it. Like, and then I asked him about it, and he first gave me the whole, the offensive line blocked everybody, and all the receivers, Lucia Brooks and Caleb Edwards ran the clear out, and you got to give credit to a lot of the guys. And I'm like, Ty, will you at least take some credit for recognizing the concept pre-snap, for delivering the football on time, hanging in the pocket, delivering the football on time accurately? Like, that's a pretty high level quarterback play. And he finally kind of gave in. It was like, well, yeah, I mean, we prepared for it. And when I saw that look, we talked about it in the huddle that this was about to happen, yada yada yada. And so like he did take a little bit of credit, but mostly he was deferring to everybody else. But I thought that was an extremely high level, recognize the defense pre-snap, understand the concept, know where you're looking, look off different defenders, and bam, hit your in cut as things are developing. But that wasn't the best. The best throw of the day was on the best throw of the day was on the 98-yard drive to close out the first half. They basically bring both tight ends into the pass protection, and it's Ryan on a flag route to his right, and it's Jeremy on a post route from his left to right into the middle. And both the tight ends chip and then leak to the flat, and the running back does a short little hook. And Ty just, oh my gosh, layers the ball past the coverage to Ryan on the sidelines. It was just a beautiful ball. And the ability, like, I think all the question marks about can Ty make the throws, is he just Greg McElroy plus, is he Jake Coker plus, is he even Mac Jones plus? No, the throws that he made on Saturday were better than all 3 of those quarterbacks have made during their time in Alabama. Like, there's no, Ryan's amazing, but he's not Devontae Smith to where you're throwing at him in quadruple coverage and Devontae's jumping up over everybody and making a play. These passes to Ryan, most of them were absolute dimes. And so to me, I was really, really impressed with Ty Simpson and his command of the offense. He hung in the pocket beautifully. That was really a kind of criticism for the first week. Oh, you're bailing on the pocket pretty early, and you're not letting plays develop. Probably coming off plays too quickly, and holding the ball too long. Essentially, that's why Coach DeBoer was all like, he needs to grip it and rip it. He needs to let it go when he sees the reads that he's been practicing. Well, through the last 2 weeks, he's been doing that. And hopefully these 2 weeks give him some sort of a foundational muscle memory, confidence level to where when you see it against Georgia, hey, it's the same thing. Whether it's Georgia, Wisconsin, ULM, Vanderbilt, it doesn't matter. It's the same little, hey, I've made these throws. This is the read. I can put that ball in there and let my receiver go make a play. I was really, really impressed with him. Now he did put up kind of he did get fortunate on the ball to Kevin Riley later on that same drive. Kevin Riley leaks out of the backfield. You got two clear outs kind of on the left hand side, and Riley runs underneath them. Better recognition from the secondary. Might have had that ball picked off, but different guys had their back to the ball, and Kevin Riley they were on the same page. It was kind of an underthrown ball on purpose, where Kevin Riley turned and caught it, and then got smacked in the back. Got smacked in the back. So give him a lot of credit there for Kevin really pulling that ball down. I thought his touchdown pass to Isaiah Horton was pretty nasty as well. Like, the man hung in the pocket beautifully and really allowed his offensive line to work well. We'll talk about the offensive line here in a little bit, because ups and downs on the line. Lots of positives in the pass protection, but a lot of negatives in run blocking. Lots of them. But Ty, to his credit, and his part of the offense, just didn't make things more complicated by drifting in the pocket deep. Making things harder on Caden Proctor with speed rushes. He hung right in there. He didn't bail early, like we said. I just thought that if there's anything to take from this game offensively, yes, Wisconsin is bad, but it was the decisiveness from Ty Simpson and the ability to place the football where you wanted it on time against the, reading the coverages. So his preparation of the week was really good so you got to take that as a good sign to going into now. Will Glenn Schumann and these other SEC coordinators mix the looks up on him a bit? Sure, they will. But you gotta. I have confidence in Ty Simpson going forward, at least until I see otherwise.
And Joe, you said it best with command of the offense. That's what so much this comes down to. He's just in full control of what's going on in the field. I've been thoroughly astounded with the way he can go through reads. And I mean, you said just about everything there is to say on Ty, but I had high hopes for him coming in, and he's exceeded them.
Yeah, that was an impressive performance. That was a performance that I thought, okay, if you get Max Ty Simpson, it's going to look like that. And with a day of bad quarterback play around college football, he had really good. Now, his good quarterback play was paired with Ryan Grubb. Oh my gosh, Ryan Grubb was absolutely in his bag the entire day, mixing concepts up. And I do think they tried to run the football. I think they abandoned running the football, much like they did against Florida State, because the run blocking is atrocious. It's awful. And I don't think getting Jam Miller back this next game is going to change that. You've got issues up front with. So look, at 9:30, I guess 30 minutes from now, my piece on the offensive line is going to hit BamaCentral.com. So if you want to kind of read this in written form, you could see that right there on Alabama Crimson Tide on SI. But you used 7 different offensive line combinations on 9 offensive drives, which is fine through these early moments. But to me, we're clearly experimenting here. We're clearly looking for a combination that's going to go be some butt kickers. Now, but I think most of it is that, looking for the right combination. But I think a little bit of it is keeping the offensive linemen fresh, because you got 7 offensive linemen that you're playing right now, with the first 5 Proctor Brailsford, really Dewberry, Formby, and Vandermark have been the first 5. You've got Michael Carroll and Jaden Roberts as your next 2, but I think that they are going to get mixed into this first 5. And I think that probably. I think they're probably some of your. I think Jaden Roberts at least is one of your best 5 offensive linemen, and we'll see about Michael Carroll. But the point, you're getting some of experimentation, but you're also getting some of, hey, let's keep guys fresh. Let's keep guys fresh so that they can go play at their best. The offensive line was the pad level is just not good in the run game. The pad level is just not good on the whole in the run game. You don't have anybody driving off the football, and I get it. They're all 6'7", they're all 6'6", they're all 6'5". They all tower over me, right? But the pad level is just not good. You got to get lower in your hips in the run game, and I'm not impressed at all with the run game. But so so the offensive line, you're mixing in Jaden Roberts and Michael Carroll. They both get put into the 98-yard drive, and they end up having a few drives together in the second half. The big screenplay to Ryan Williams, though, you put the big screenplay to Ryan Williams across the line was Proctor, Vandermark, Brailsford, Roberts, and Carroll, and so you've just got all these offensive. You've got Vandermark going in for starting at right guard, going in at left guard for Dewberry, playing backup center at the end of the game when they put the kind of the backups in. I just think the experimentation is really, really high right now, and I don't. Okay, that's what I was trying to decide last night when I'm watching film. Is the experimentation about finding the best five, Theo, or is it about keeping the offensive linemen fresh?
I think at this point in the season, it's about finding the best five. You see guys time and time again, have slip ups, not look all that impressive. I think this is very much still a line that, Kapilovic and the offensive staff are still trying to figure out. Wilkin Formby, I think, is on probably the thinnest of ice right now. And if I was a betting man and if, I had to throw down some money, I would probably pick Michael Carroll to start against Georgia at this point. I think that we could see Wilkin Formby completely unseated over the next 2 weeks. I think that, I don't know, I think the Roberts and Vandermark battle's a little more nuanced almost because you see the talent, you see the pure strength that Jaden Roberts provides, but he's been kind of a question mark for at least the past month, right? Since he had that injury, and we're assuming it was a concussion. I don't know if we ever got confirmation on that.
Yeah, we did.
Okay, but yeah, no, it seems like something's almost up there where I think a month ago, we all would have thought, yeah, Roberts is clearly going to be the starter on this team. And now we're just kind of in a bit of a state of limbo there. I still think this is very much a line that's figuring itself out and figuring out who its five starters are going to be down the back half of the season.
Yeah, so I think you play well right there. You've got Jaden Roberts, who is getting into game shape, and I think Roberts is going to eventually retake that right guard starting spot. But you're not going to completely just put Gino Vandermark on the bench. I think Vandermark is going to serve as your spell guy for both Dewberry and Roberts as the season continues. And I think he'll have he'll end up playing in every game, and he'll end up having drives in every game. Drives when things matter, not garbage time drives. But I think that predominantly you're going to see Dewberry and Roberts taking just having the left and right guard respectively. Now with Vandermark used as kind of, let's keep these guys fresh.
He's also the backup center too. I mean, you got to give the guy credit for being a very good plug and play piece. Utility, can fill in anywhere on the inside, so you have to respect that about what he brings to this team.
Exactly. But the right tackle position, I think, is much more of we got to find the best player here. And Wilkins just not athletic. I'm so like, I look, Taco Casa's got a lot of what we like. You're right. And pulling for any local kid, I want everybody to succeed, honestly. And so I hate to kind of get into players who are deficient, but I think that we've seen slower feet over the course of the last few years than you want to see for a right tackle, and getting beat by they're chipping. That's the issue. You're chipping your tight end or your slot receiver or whoever out of the backfield to the right side a lot of the time to give Wilkin Formby and Michael Carroll. I will be honest, Michael's been the beneficiary of some chips as well. Not near as consistently though. They're not chipping near as much with Michael with Michael Carroll the last 2 weeks as they have been Wilkin Formby all 3 weeks. With Wilkin against Florida State, they must have chipped every single play to give him a fighting chance right there. Now, is he? I think he's a hard worker. I think he's given his all. I think he's trying to perform well for the Crimson Tide and give you an entertaining product and high level play. But I just think athletically he's a little bit just not quite there athletically with his feet. Now, can that improve? Yes, it can. But I think with Michael Carroll, you see a much more sound baseline product, whereas the strength is a lot higher. The pass set, honestly, is a lot stronger. But it's hard for you to even say that because they're going up against scrubs the last 2 weeks. They're going up against ULM. Sorry guys, really not a good football team. They're going up against Wisconsin. Sorry guys, probably a 4-win football team. And so you're going up against scrubs. It's hard to talk about, one of these tackles is better than the other. I think Wilkin's going to start still against Georgia, but I think the hook is going to be pretty quick, and they're going to be putting Michael Carroll in there pretty quick if Wilkin is showing to be a liability against Georgia. And Glenn and Kirby, they're going to be testing that right side a lot, especially early. And so I think we'll know pretty quickly if Michael Carroll is going to get subbed in and stay in, or if they're going to keep rotating in and out. I think these last 2 weeks have been a bit of an experiment to see, is he really an option? Can he play college football? Get him some snaps. Michael Carroll, get him some snaps before you go over to Athens.
Yeah, I completely agree with really everything you just said. I have nothing to add on the O-line, Joe.
Well, do you think it's a problem?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Because to me, that's what makes my stomach hurt.
That is, and especially when we look at the running game.
Ugh.
I feel that. Look, I think Jam is going to be an improvement over the 3 guys that we have playing right now. I think he is a very good running back. I do not think the improvement is big enough to overcome the deficiencies in the run blocking right now. I do not think that Jam is going to come in and instantly flip a switch where all of a sudden Alabama is dominating on the ground at all.
The only way that happens is if Jam is breaking tackles in the backfield, breaking tackles at the line of scrimmage. Because what this line has been doing, this line has done the stalemate at the line of scrimmage fairly decently. We can stalemate you, but you have not had any let's drive them off the football. Let's move them 4 yards down the field. Let's move them 3 yards down the field. That, and especially against Wisconsin in the run game, Wisconsin's linebackers, second level, and their defensive backs, particularly the safeties, Wisconsin's linebackers and safeties, they didn't do anything exotic as far as movement goes, but the offensive line could not get to the second level and could not deal with, my man's right in front of me. Now he's 3 yards to my left, and I got to get over there. Either the scheme is just a little bit, needs to be tweaked a little bit. I don't think that's the case, really. I think athletically, the line is just not, you're not getting good double teams and moving to the second level. And so when Jam comes back, you're going to get linebackers in his face. You're going to get defensive backs at his feet. And look, Kevin Riley's been fine, exploding through what little gaps there have been, and has been running with high knees. And so his ankles have been, he's been able to run through some ankle tackles here and there, but that's what it's going to take. Does Jam do that better than Kevin? Maybe, but what's the degree of that? Not that much better. I'm pretty concerned about the running game. We'll say that. That's where I'm at with this Alabama. I'm pretty concerned with the running game from the offensive line perspective. I am. What if 10 is max concern? I'm hitting the panic button. My pass blocking concern is about a 5. About a 6, about a 5. I'm not into the confidence zone of no worries at all. But with a running block, my fear, my concern is at a 9 for sure.
Yeah, you see, I'd go a little lower on the pass, especially getting Jam back, which will help, I think, in the pass blocking a ton. I think that's the one area where he absolutely blows the other 3 backs out of the water. So I have very little concern about the pass block, but I am right with you on a 9 on the run blocking because for all the reasons we just talked about and for everything that we have seen on the field for 3 weeks, the sirens are going off.
Mm-hmm.
It's not good.
Theo, is Ryan Williams afraid to get hit?
That's not a crazy thing to say. I mean, he looks like he's seeing ghosts out there almost. Like he's always a little overly cautious and shying away from contact. I don't think that's a crazy thing to say right now.
Yeah. So let's look at these five receptions here. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. No. Ty Simpson pass deep left, 24 yards. Ryan catches, advances to the Wisconsin 36 out of bounds. This is what I'm looking at. Out of bounds. Second reception. Pass left complete to Williams, out of bounds. First down. Third one. Pass deep to 22 yards to Williams, caught at the Alabama 50, advances to the 48, end of play. And so that one he did get tackled. Okay. And then you get the two touchdowns, the screen right out of halftime, which beautiful, just absolutely beautiful. But think about the concept of a screen. Ryan Williams is catching the ball in the backfield and has a convoy of blockers in front of him, and he's just weaving through. Okay, great. Then the next touchdown pass, he's running a slot fade. And golly, that was a beautiful route. I mean, while this is framed as Ryan Williams criticism, that slot fade was nasty. That slot fade gave me feelings because he ran it pretty skinny up the slot and gave Ty Simpson a lot of room to throw it out wide and used his body to get out there. So he catches the slot fade and then jukes those guys out of his shoes and races to the end zone. Great. And then the draw over the middle, and whether that's a concentration issue, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. He had a great game, right? And so I don't want to come off as Ryan Williams stinks. I'm not in that category, but I'm also not in the category that Ryan Williams is back, because all these plays are. And you do want to keep your guys safe, of course you do. But I just have a feeling that from the Florida State game to what we saw on Saturday, maybe some conversations were had about, I don't want to put things I want to do in the slot and things I want to do, routes I want to run. And I'm not saying that Ryan put his foot down. No, I'm not saying that at all. But it just looks to me like Ryan's afraid to get hit out there.
Yeah, and I kind of agree with that, but I don't.
You can disagree. It's fine.
I almost don't think it's a huge problem right now.
Yeah, because Jeremy's a soldier.
Yeah, because Jeremy is doing everything. We're so loaded everywhere else. Like, it's almost like, okay, sure, Ryan, if you want to go run your little sideline routes and step out of bounds, go ahead right now. Now, if we are in a big moment of a big game,
that's what I mean. Like, Wisconsin stinks.
Are you fighting for the extra yards?
Like, Wisconsin stinks.
That's almost why I'm not concerned, because right now it's like, sure, don't take a hit in this huge moment. You're coming off an injury. or like it doesn't really matter if you don't fight for yardage or if you go out a little early. If we're in Athens and we're in a close game in the second half and you're doing this, then it's a huge problem. And I would hope that, okay, you have 2 more weeks, you're fully back into the swing of things, you've got a great game behind you now. We don't have to have this conversation going forward. I don't know if that will be the case.
Yeah, I'm still in the like. I'm in the camp that this game is not very. This game is not something to go celebrate over. Like, yes, and Ryan's numbers, everybody's doing the same. 165, 2 touchdowns. He's great. He's back. He's the man. Like, they were 2 great highlights. Amazing highlights. The rest of the receptions were Ty's dots. Like, really. I mean, Ty hit him on 2 of those kind of deep out routes. But I'm not sitting here bashing Ryan. I hope that's not how this comes off, but I'm trying to pump the brakes on, Ryan Williams is back. This game brought him back on the map. I think Ryan's got to continue to perform at this. Like, look, if you want to keep being, if you want to make the most out of screen passes, great. Honestly, look, make the most out of every pass. But if you want to really be a weapon in this offense, you're going to have to be reliable going over the middle. You're going to have to be reliable in some danger zones. And I think Ryan was reliable at times last year, but I think he also faded. And look, that's to be understood. That's to be expected from a 17-year-old, right? Yeah. How much he's only 17. Oh. Like, that's to be expected. He faded last year, and he did. Did you hear him talk about the stuffed animal?
I did, yes.
Colin almost had him. He. For those who didn't hear it in the post game, you need to check out the Bama Central YouTube channel. But Ryan essentially kind of blew it off. Oh, that's just something I have. Colin was one follow-up question away from having a real story. He goes, the training staff, put some tape on it, this, that, and the other. And Colin asked him, like, his follow-up was, so is it like comfort or what's it for? He's like, no, it's just something I got from a friend. Colin, who's the friend?
Who's the friend?
And like, you get it. Oh, the friend is Sally Sue, a 5-year-old cancer patient. Boom, story. Yeah. Or the friend is, friend XYZ, my best friend for however long. Who, it doesn't matter. Yeah. Like, you have an actual story there once you find out who that friend is. I don't think that. I'm definitely not panicking over Ryan, but I do think that his great game, be careful if you're drinking all the Kool-Aid on Ryan. Just be careful.
You see, I do want to disagree with one of the things he said there, which is that, does he need to go over the top? Does he need to play like a traditional wide receiver to have a role in this offense, to have a huge role in this offense? I don't think so. I think that with a receiving core that is a lot deeper, with a QB who's shown a great ability to get the ball to his receivers, and Ryan can play Ryan Williams football all game. He can run the routes that lead to him breaking off big plays. And I don't think it'll really matter because defenses always have to respect him. Defenses always have to be all over him. But you can't really afford, a double team, or you can't afford to fully build your coverage around him with Bernard playing like, a potential Blitnikoff finalist with, guys like Cole Adams and like Rico Scott showing an ability to be adept, make plays, with Jam Miller coming back in the passing game. With Brooks really, really impressing for a true freshman. Even like Caleb Edwards is someone who you see he's getting involved out on the field. I think it's only a matter of time before he starts getting the ball on a regular basis. Like,
yeah, I'd put the ball in his hands a lot more.
I would too.
All these, I'm sorry, Josh Cuevas, but all these Josh Cuevas receptions need to go to Caleb Edwards.
Yeah, I mean, looking at his stats earlier, he's averaging just around 3 receptions for 20 yards a game. What could Edwards do with those touches, right? So I think that there's just too much going on in this receiving room for defenses to put that level of focus on Ryan at any stage this year. And I just think that this will work. This will elevate the offense so much. And I think that Ryan doesn't have to be a traditional receiver for us this year. That's kind of where I'm at.
Theo, do you think the team got tired on Saturday?
I think that I would chalk it up more to apathy.
Don't say that.
And I don't want to say it. It's not good. There was just no real fire in the offense down the stretch. Excuse me. I would chalk it up to apathy. They have been playing with such a fire over the last 2 weeks, you know.
They burned out already? Burned all their gas already?
Burning out makes it sound a lot worse than it actually is. I think that it's okay to let off the gas a little when you're up 35-7 against Wisconsin.
It's not okay. Not after the first week. It's never okay after the first week.
Come on. They kind of got it all out of your system. You've outscored your opponents at that point 108-7 over 6.5 quarters of football. I think maybe they were like, okay, we can coast into the end of this one.
Do you know what my biggest pet peeve is when I watch football?
What is it?
Mouthpieces hanging out of the cages, not in their mouth.
Why?
Because, okay. God, I guess we haven't done this before since you didn't know, but I've done this with a lot of my Bama Central friends and basically anybody who knows me when we talk football. Look, going back to the offensive line, when I graded Caden Proctor, I gave him about a B+. He went 17 plays in a row where I was O+, 17 times. And then it started, like he played 51 snaps. And then the negative started. And over like the last 20 or so snaps, it was like almost every third snap. That's a negative. That's a positive. That's a negative. Oh, that's a double negative. I gave him 2 double negatives on the day. I gave him 3 double positives. I gave him like 32 positives. I gave him like 6 neutral plays. So I think I had him down for 9 total negative plays, 2 double negatives, and 7 just normal. Like, okay. Towards the back half of the game, Caden Proctor's pink mouthpiece is just hanging on the line of scrimmage, not in his mouth. Put your goddamn mouthpiece in your mouth because you're about to take a snap and hit somebody. So to me, the mouthpiece is the clearest indicator on is the player locked in? Is a player ready to go? Is a player feeling good, first off? Because look, you're an athlete. Every time you stick a mouthpiece in, it does what? You can't talk as much, and it does inhibit your breathing just a little bit. It does. It's not like a lot, but it's 3%, right? It inhibits your breathing 4%. And to me, when you see that mouthpiece hanging out, that's people can't. I'm not putting this in. I'm not biting down. I'm not biting down on the mouthpiece. Like you're about to have some contact. Get yourself, and so it takes me back, like the whole Caden Proctor towards the end of the game, Lozia Brooks towards the end of the game. People just the mouthpiece just hanging out, flapping in the wind, smacking their chest plate in the wind. Either throw it out and don't wear it because the officials aren't that strict on it, or put it in your dadgum mouth and hit somebody. Like to me, it's just the clearest indicator of I'm ready to play some football. And if you see you'll start to see it now. When you watch the Giants, watch how many of those jokers have their mouthpiece just hanging out because they're tired and they're undisciplined and they're not playing well. It's with the Bears, all the time. Like you see those mouthpieces just flapping in the wind. And to me, it's like the clearest indicator, the clearest small sign. Like, of course, you can look at other things, but like if you want to see the smallest sign that says, "Oh, Billy's not ready," It's that. And so I'm wondering, if the team let off the gas a little bit, or if they just got tired towards the end of the game, and like you're sitting here with 2 more weeks until you play Georgia, and buddy, you bet those last few snaps of the game, those last handful of snaps of the game, when it's going nuts in Athens, when Vanderbilt's here, and it's going to be, probably it's probably going to be in that afternoon window. And Diego Pavia is getting geared up for another drive. Like, stick your mouthpiece in and let's go. That's just an area of concern of mine. Didn't finish well. You didn't finish well as an offense, and you didn't really finish well as a defense. Now, you made some substitutions, but you didn't finish well as a team. And these are small signs to me that no, Bama's not back. It's not the national championship season is not right back on. Like, it could happen, but you still have to take a lot of steps before you can say, yeah, this team's a contender. This team can beat anybody. Like, it could, but they also could gas out in the last quarter and not play well and not finish well, and Georgia goes 10-0 in the last quarter and beat you by 3. Like, I still see issues with this team, and fatigue is one of them.
Yeah, okay. So obviously you watched that second half film more, and apathy set in for, I think, us in the press box a little.
Oh, it did. I'll say, yeah.
We stopped. So those are some good observations that I did not make during the course of the game.
All right. So if you ever see a guy pre-snap and his mouthpiece is hanging out, watch what he does during the play. And like, of course, this is not a universal, like every single time that player is going to mess up. But over the course of time, you'll see the players with their mouthpieces hanging out, they're the ones most likely to be a step late. They're the ones most likely to not finish their blocks. They're the ones most likely to miss a tackle.
That's fascinating, and I will be looking for that from now on.
That's my biggest pet peeve.
Now, look.
If I were a coach, as soon as I started seeing your mouthpiece come out, boop, you're out. Come catch your breath.
Now, look, if I'm 320 pounds.
I don't care.
And I've played 40 snaps. I'm doing everything I can to be able to breathe as well as possible.
Put Jackson Lloyd in there and give Caden Proctor a break. Caden played 51 snaps. If 51 is too many, okay, bring him down to 41. Because that's what you're doing with Wilkin. That's what you're doing with Gino. I mean, Gino was like third up. It was Parker and Caden with 51 each, and Gino was like at 43 or something like that. And then it was basically a drop off, and it was Dewberry Formby and Roberts kind of all next. Michael Carroll only played 18 snaps. Like, if it's a fatigue issue, bring your buddy on the sideline and go put the young guy in and say sink or swim for 3 snaps. Caden Proctor needs a break. Sink or swim for 3 snaps.
And then you bring Proctor back in, and that mouthpiece stays in. Yeah, okay. So I see what they're thinking there.
Yeah, so it just drives me nuts. All right, let's hit a small break. Instead of a break, though, we are going to go to the voicemail line at 205-462-7340 extension. You don't have class today, do you?
I do not.
All right, because we've gone 50-something minutes all on the offense, but I think there's a lot more meat to go. So I'm going to play the voicemail line at 205-462-7340 extension 800. You got Dax and Everett on the voicemail line. We'll see what they had to say about the game.
What's up, guys? It's Dax. Roll Tide. We covered. I predicted 52-10, and it should have been a lot closer to my prediction than the game ended, but we let off the gas right there at the end. I'm still very happy with the performance, super happy with Ty's performance. That double reverse screen pass to Ryan with the entire offensive line had him down. Oh, man, that got me going. Thank you, Ryan Grubb. I love that. Ryan Williams is back in, boys looking like his regular Hollywood, making super fantastic plays and dropping wide open passes for touchdowns. And we love it. Brr. Come on, Ryan. Dude. Oh, Ty would have had 5 touchdowns and 400-plus yards of Ryan, and Lotz would have just, caught the ball. But you know what? It's fine. We won 38-14. I'll take it. Defense is playing. I mean, we did get three sacks today. 3 sacks. The pass rush looked a little better today. We were actually finishing on the quarterback. But the run game really was not running today, like at all. There was no run game. Conveniently, Ty was a freaking Heisman contender today. So, like I said earlier in preseason, everybody else had Ty and, like, as number 7 QB in the ACC, and I said he was going to be top 3. He's going to be top 3 by the end of the year. I'm telling you what, he might be number 1 in the SEC. You're welcome. All right, boys. Easy 11 a.m. dub for us. See y'all later. Love you. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
Hey, guys. It's Everett from Marion. Roll Tide, of course, and just want to hear y'all's final thoughts on the rest of the regular season. Thank you for everything. Bye.
All right. That's Everett and Dax on the voicemail line. We want to remind you that we are live in the Derek Daniel State Farm Studios. Call Derek Daniel at 205-462-7340. That's my voicemail line. Call Derek Daniel at 205-758-3391 for all of your insurance needs. Like a good neighbor, Derek Daniel is there. All right, so what do you think? Dax hitting basically every point that I was trying to make. Every point. Now, one thing that came to me as Dax was talking, with Ryan Grubb, did you notice what he did how the running game wasn't working? So the running game was dog poo because you were getting caught up in the line of scrimmage. A lot of the linemen were getting caught in the trash because nobody was driving anybody off the ball. There was a lot of legs you're getting caught up in, and a lot of guys you weren't able to work up to the second level. So what did Ryan Grubb do? He ended up not really leaning into the screen game, but he used the screen game. They ended up using screen game and RPO. My chart had 4 true screens, one to Kevin Riley, obviously one to Ryan Williams, the opening play of the second half. Ray Washington caught a screen pass, and Josh Cuevas caught a screen pass. And then he had 3 other RPOs. I mean, he had more than 3 RPOs, but he had 3 RPOs that ended up being true passes. And they were kind of screens as well. Cuevas caught 2, and Caleb Edwards caught the 1 you already mentioned. And so instead of, hey, let's continue to hammer our faces against this Wisconsin defensive line and front because we're all of our blockers are all getting tripped up on each other, they spread everything out and let the athletes kind of be athletic. And so I thought that was a really good counter. And so, like, really these 4 screens, essentially, if I say 7, these 7 screens, because the RPOs kind of functioned as pseudo screens. You got these 7 screens, and you could technically put them into the rushing category. You have, of course, Ryan Williams that goes down as a 75-yard pass, but it was like a daggone bubble screen. We're just throwing it right out there, and it's more or less a Ryan Williams sweep, but we're going to manipulate the offensive line. They're all out there. So what a great play design. And I do think that Ryan Grubb showed his acumen as a play caller, realizing screen game's really not working, or the running game's really not working. Let's try a few screens and see if we can't get an extension of the run game.
I had so much fun watching Grubb calling plays. That's exactly what I think we were hoping to see out of him. Just a new level of offense that was not realized under Sheridan, and a lot of that was due to the nature of Jalen Milroe as a QB and the differences, but not to talk bad about Jalen Milroe today.
I mean, it is what it is.
It is what it is. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with it. So Grubb, we knew we had extremely high hopes for him coming in and leading this offense, and it was a thing of beauty to watch some of the plays he dialed up.
All right, so that's enough on the offensive side. Let's go to the defense, where London Simmons, where Quay Russaw, where LT Overton. There's 4 sacks. So who got the fourth? Let me go pull up.
Yonze Pierre.
Yonze, that's right. Yonze got the 4th sack. You ended up with 4 tackles for a loss. They were they were all the sacks. They were the sacks. There was no tackles for loss in traditional run game. I'm not taking a ton away from this defensively because I think, again, what we kind of outlined off the front, Wisconsin was basically inept offensively.
Danny O'Neal is not a very good QB.
All right. And that first drive they had, you and I are sitting right next to each other, and nothing's open. He tucked it for a little 6-yard scamper. I was like, that's going to be the offense the whole day, and like that was not sustainable for Wisconsin. I do think I do think the defense kind of squeezed in on them a bit. Everybody's giving him Bray Hubbard a lot of praise, and they should.
First pick.
Right. O'Neal never even saw him.
It was a baffling read to make, and Bray will never have an easier interception in his life as far as a ball going right to him.
Right. Bray's buzzing out, and I think that O'Neal either never saw him or thought that he was going to was taking the back out of the backfield and was going to keep going. But Bray kind of slow played into his little buzz zone right there, and he threw it right at him. I think O'Neal decided before the snap, I'm throwing the ball outside. And then now he did make a nice play on the second interception, erasing both his interceptions coming in Wisconsin territory. He made a nice play on the second interception. They're basically all manned up across the board, and Bray was plastered to his man. And I guess Danny O'Neal thought, I'm just going to give my guy a chance. And, Bray was more athletic than the Wisconsin receiver and made a play on the football. I'll give him that.
Bray also had the outside leverage. I mean, he was in position. He did a very good job in coverage on that second play. So credit where credit is due.
Yeah, 5 tackles for Bray, 3 solo tackles, 2 interceptions. People going online saying, "Oh, Bray is back. Bray is back." Maybe. I'm still like, I still just don't trust the competition that you played against ULM and Wisconsin. Like, yeah, it's a good performance. It's good, but we'll see. Bray, will you stick your nose in there against Nate Frazier next week? Hey, that Nate Frazier is a bad boy. Are you going to stick your nose in against him? Oh, then yes. Are you going to be able to stick with oh my gosh, Zechariah Branch? Yikes. Like, Georgia's got some ball players on the outside. And so I think that we'll find out if Bray is back. I thought the defense did fine. I think it was more about Wisconsin's offense being inept than it was about Alabama's defense being super aggressive and being playmakers. Now, Quay Russaw, his rush around the end was an elite repetition, but it was one rep. It's one rep. What can we get that down? Can we get that passing down in and passing down out from Quay Russaw? Go dominate. Like, he dipped underneath that offensive lineman and exploded around the edge, and he gave Danny O'Neal the business on that sack. Yeah. I'm trying to think of how to say it nicely. He gave him the work right there. And so, like, there are some impressive moments. LT gets himself a sack. LT, if the quarterback had 2% more athleticism, that would have been another almost sack for him. LT's falling all over himself, and he finally gets him by the ankle when LT's on his belly, basically on the ground. And, like, if that's a quarterback with an ounce more athleticism, they pick that ankle up and they run out of that tackle and either get 3 yards or they throw the football into whatever. And so it's like, yeah, is that a play that we can really celebrate? Sure. I mean, you made the play. The play was a sack. So, like, we can't judge it off what almost was, but, like, what almost was another almost sack.
And you compare that to, like, Russaw's sack where he pounces on the guy.
Right.
Not all sacks are created equal.
O'Neal had no chance against Quay Russaw for sure. And London Simmons too. London Simmons was a great rep. London Simmons showed better penetration and showed better lateral movement. I think London is proving to be or showing a little more comfort in the defense. Now he gets to get bumped back to the bench a little bit. Not to the bench, but he gets bumped back in rotation this coming week because Tim Keenan is, I think, very likely going to be playing against Georgia. And so London Simmons gets bumped from the ones into the rotationary room, which is good for Alabama. Like, goodness gracious, this guy's got some reps against 2 of the mid teams on the schedule. And now Tim Keenan is back, and Tim Keenan is hungry to make some plays. And now when Tim Keenan's mouthpiece is hanging out, you can sub London Simmons right in.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there are some positives to take away. I thought the secondary play was largely good most of the day, but I also think that you're going up against a quarterback that couldn't challenge you. And when I'm going to fight against somebody who I know can't challenge me, I'm going to play with my food a little bit. And I don't know. Xavier Brown, that should have been like an 80-yard touchdown.
Oh, yeah. And you said it earlier, like Xavier did everything he could have after getting burned to salvage the play. But if that throw is not behind,
Right.
it's a touchdown. Gunnar Stockton's throwing that ball, it's a touchdown.
Or yes, Zachariah Branch is running away from you.
Uh-huh.
And that ball is in the bucket and it's gone.
Xavier has been great to start the season.
Yeah.
He was, I would say, the best defensive player against FSU.
Yeah.
So hard to criticize the guy right now. And he did have a bad rep there, though, that kind of got bailed out by the throw from O'Neal.
I'm disappointed in James Smith. Only 2 tackles on the day.
What kind of presence is he creating on the inside?
Not a big enough one.
Not a big enough one. Okay.
I don't care that you smoked ULM for 4 tackles and 3 tackles for a loss last week. I really do not care. You're going to have to, like this Georgia offensive line, they showed some problems at tackle. No, that's not James Smith's role, but they showed some problems at tackle that you're going to have to take advantage of by winning on the inside and leaving the Georgia tackle on an island so Quay Rousseau and Yanzi Pierre can do some work on him. If Georgia can help that tackle, because James Smith is just a guy, you're going to need more out of James. Is the point? And I think the defense played about a B+.
That's a fair grade. I mean, Tim Keenan coming back helps out the entire line so much. Helps out Smith a lot. So I don't think I'm super concerned there or even all that disappointed. I'm just so excited to see what that front seven can do coming off this big game with Tim Keenan back in the middle.
I'm not very confident. Are you?
I'd say
your confidence level that this front seven can slow down the Georgia running game and get after Gunnar Stockton, 1 being no confidence, 10 being super confident, is what?
Go 6'5".
Oh my gosh, you're delusional.
Like I think that there were a lot of overreactions after week 1. I think that there was a lot to pick apart as a whole. I think that like Jefferson especially was very underwhelming. Lawson we talked about.
And he's shown nothing to make me feel better about it.
Yeah, I mean that's true, but also how much of it can you just chalk up to week 1, tough environment, a lot of things going wrong.
How tough do you think the environment's going to be next week?
It'll be it's the same thing where we talk about Ty Simpson. He's had these 2 games to get into a rhythm, to go through reads, to get to play, easier football. And now we talk about how that's going to help him out going into this tough environment because you've gone through all the reps. You've done everything already. Why can't it be the same for this defense?
Because they're not strong. Because they play with bad pad level. Because they don't play with aggression. They play on their heels. That's the difference. If you played with aggression and you just needed some experience, okay. If you didn't go into like the inside linebackers guess. They guess on their gaps. You're guessing. And you're not playing with physicality. Like I'm ready to see the 3 freshmen. I'm ready to see Caden Jones. I'm ready to see QB Reese.
I would love to see QB Reese out there.
Right. I'm ready to mix them in alongside one of the 3 seniors. One of the 3 leave one of the 3 seniors out there, nice and sentimental, and yeah, they got experience. But you need to the if I were Coach Womack, and I'm not, and I know Coach, you're watching this show, so take this in your notes here and think about it. You're playing one of the 3 seniors, Deontay Jefferson or Nikhai Hill-Green, and then you are just rotating that other spot with QB, with Caden Jones, with Luke Metz, with Duke Johnson, with Abdul Sanders. You're just rotating these young boys, and they're going to get overwhelmed. They're going to get overwhelmed as part of being young, inexperienced. But once they get overwhelmed, you pop the next one in, and you come coach them up on the side. Get Chuck Morrell on the sidelines. Blah, 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 blah. What'd you see right there? Let's talk about it. This is what you should have done. This is what you can do. And then stay right here. You're going right back in a couple plays. And just keep rotate. Just have two different rotation systems of this linebacker's the old guys, this linebacker's the young guys. Because you got to start developing some of this young talent. And because I think some of the older guys are about as close to their finished products as they're going to be.
Yeah, okay, that's a fair point. I still think that as much as I'm intrigued by Jones and by Reese, and I think they'll be very good pieces for the team next year, I still think that the best players we have to offer as far as linebackers go are the ones on the field right now.
Well, sir, I mean, Kane knows better than I do. He's seeing them every day. Like Chuck Morrell knows better than I do. They're seeing them every day. This is just this is a just outside the building perspective, right?
Yeah.
My confidence going up against that Georgia front seven right now is probably at a 2.
Wow.
Really though,
that is low.
I think that Ty Simpson better be warming up that arm for the next 10 days. And it better be 55-48. It better be matching scores every time down the field, because matching scores and hoping that Gunner just coughs up the football. That's kind of where I'm at right now. Now, is that impossible? No, it's not impossible. Ty showed you this past week. He can read a defense and he can guide an offense down the what stopped the offense this week? Drops. Lazier drops up a football. They punt it away. Then of course they sub in all the backups on the last drive, and they couldn't move the ball. It's fine, whatever. I don't even care about the final drive with Austin Mack and the young offensive lineman in there. They did fine, but like whatever. The other thing, you went for it on 4th down because you ended up having a penalty on the first drive and didn't get it, and Bray's interception gave you the ball right back. So you ended up having a penalty. You stop yourself. That was Josh Cuevas going a false start, making it 2nd and 15, because your first down run got you 0 bleeping yards. Yeah. So you're stopping yourself. You don't have enough physicality to really grind some things out. It's on Ty Simpson right now. You got to catch the football when he hits you in the hands. Ryan Williams, Lazier Brooks. You got to catch the football. Right? I get it if you're getting smashed at the same time, but those two plays in particular, you weren't getting smashed. You were wide open, and it was just a concentration error, a lapse in judgment. Both they did. Stat Broadcast got them both down as drops, and that was the only 2 drops of the game. But without those drops, you're kicking, you're scoring another touchdown. You're going from 35-42, and then Lazier Brooks, you're staying on the field. That's a 3rd down conversion. You're staying on the field, and who knows what happens after that. Maybe you punt it. Maybe you convert it. Dax is right. Dax's score should have been dead on.
Yes.
52-10. I think that this game leaves Alabama with a lot of, you won, but leaves Alabama with a lot of lingering questions about the hunger of this team, about the attention to detail, about the finishing for this team, because all the stuff that happened in week 1 is still a question to me. And I don't really give a rip what you did against ULM. You played well for about 3.5 quarters. 3.5 quarters against Wisconsin, a bad football team, and then you let off the gas. Are you playing every snap like it's 0-0? Do you have the hunger and the fire? Will you go whistle to whistle, bell to bell, baby? What's the deal? I'm still pretty concerned about this team. And so it especially starts with what happens up front on the defensive side of the football. I'm hopeful Tim Keenan comes back and gives them a little bit more fire. I think it will help. I mean, it won't hurt. It will help. But, will it push them over the top? Will it make the inside linebackers physical? Will it flip James Smith's switch? I don't know. Will it make LT Overton an elite finisher? Doubtful.
Yeah, like I don't know. 6.5 may be a little high, but I just feel like 2. I don't think a 2 gives this defense enough credit.
What credit have they earned, Theo? You shut out your
Admittedly,
high
not
school,
much.
right? You shut out a high school team. You got your butt smashed. You got your face smashed against Florida State, and yeah, good job. You handled a Big Ten offense. You handled a bad Big Ten offense.
Yeah, but you didn't just handle them. I mean, you completely shut them down. 1 touchdown drive. 7
All right.
points over 2 weeks, and I know the competition is atrocious. But I just feel like you have all this. You have the leader of your team, one of your biggest forces up in the middle, coming back. I think there's got to be a little more faith put into this defense.
Did you watch the post game with Deontay Lawson that I was standing at?
I did, yes.
Did you hear him say they were even getting on to me talking about his teammates?
Yeah.
Come on. Think about it. That's your senior leader right now. I mean, yes, Tim coming back is going to be helpful, but I like Deontay a lot, and he's been great to cover as far as a human and getting to know him and giving good answers and being respectful. And I try to be respectful to him as well. But I think it's a problem if other teammates are having to come on, Deontay, let's go. Let's be a little mean. Let's get a little nasty with it. I think he needs to find that deep within himself.
I mean, in theory, that's how it should work, but I'm not going to complain about a culture where we have everyone trying to motivate each. I don't know.
That's true.
I don't think that's something I would spin as a negative necessarily. It's not like.
But he's the one that you need, the steady Eddie, the constant. Like somebody's got to, and it is Tim Keenan. But you remember the Notre Dame story, the Alabama Notre Dame 2012 national championship, where Notre Dame's walking out in front of them, and Chance Warmack and DJ Fluker are in the front, go whoop whoop as they come by, and it's just like, and Tim Keenan gives you that whoop whoop, let's go, like we're gonna take you out, go right through your face, kind of thing. Like Tim does give you that, but I need a little bit more. I need somebody else. I need somebody else to join the gym. Like Tim's been on the sidelines itching to go because he's hurt.
Yeah.
But like you need somebody else that's gonna go wah, wah, roll my number 0 jersey up. Look how sexy my abs are. I'm about to come right through your face.
No, and I still do agree with that sentiment where, last year there were 2 very well-established leaders. 2 guys who I think did a great job getting the most
Tyler
out of
Booker
their
would
team.
roll his jersey up. Look at my big belly. I'm going to eat you up.
Yeah. I thought Malachi did a great job too.
Right. I agree. Malachi crashing out.
It's almost like who is going to crash out on the field at Samford if, Alabama's losing that game.
Are you going?
I am, just as a fan though.
That's fine.
I'm excited.
When you get into the stadium early.
Yeah.
Not like super early, but early enough, because I think Georgia has one of the more underrated traditions in college football, or at least in the SEC. They end up I think they still do this. They did this when I was a kid. Breaking news, Theo. I grew up in a Georgia household. Both my parents were freshmen when Herschel Walker and the Bulldogs won a national championship. So I grew up basically on Georgia football. And in the second deck of Samford Stadium to start the game, I think it's before the national anthem, or maybe it's just after. But they select a trumpet player. You know how Ohio State has the band member dot the I.
Uh-huh.
Well, it's a trumpet player that goes to the top of the stadium and single trumpet plays the Battle Hymn of the Republic, and it is just chills down my spine.
Wow.
Yeah, very, very good little moment. And at night, when everybody's like feeling it in the moment, that's going to be a cool spot right there. They mic them up, and it, And so I think that's one of the more underrated traditions in the SEC. But you're gonna have a lot of fun.
I'm excited, and I'm the only one of my friends who got a student ticket. They're all just going to be in Athens watching at a bar while I'm there. So I don't have to worry about, oh, no, we don't want to go into the stadium right away. No, I'll be there right when gates open.
Yeah,
I want to get the full experience.
I think you should. Beware of folks barking in your face. You gonna bark back?
I personally, as a relatively mature 20-year-old man, do not bark at other human beings. So I don't think I'll be joining in on that. I'll tell you, I was there in February. We wore a Bama polo, went out on their strip, explored a little, and just everyone's barking at me. It's
nuts,
something.
Isn't it?
It was crazy.
It's nuts. Man. You gonna put a leash in your pocket?
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
I think you ought to.
I think I got it.
Gotta have a little leash in your pocket.
I can like discreetly throw it out if the game doesn't go Alabama's way.
Exactly.
But
go to PetSmart, get yourself a dog leash.
No, that is an excellent idea that I will be doing.
Yeah, there you go. You got any more comments for the rest of the day, Theo? Because we got to get out of here. We've been running long.
No, I do want to point out that I was very close to going perfect on my picks last weekend. My only misses were because what was Josh Heupel doing at the end of regulation? First of all,
what do you mean? They kicked the field goal.
Yeah, but
what
I don't get is you got 3rd and 5.
Yeah.
And 7 seconds and the timeout. You're willing on 3rd and 5 to run the ball to the middle, get down so that you have a kick right in the middle. Then you have the false start. You still have 7 seconds and 2 timeouts. You've just made the kick harder for yourself. Your kicker is to kick it from further away. And now all of a sudden you're not willing to run it up the middle? Now that you need to do it even more? That was baffling to me.
Didn't you feel so bad for the Tennessee fans?
It ruined my day, Think of all those poor fans in Knoxville.
Let's just say real quick, that was the best outcome for Alabama. Because if Georgia loses that game, they get 2 weeks of you're no good, you stink, you're no good. All you did was beat Austin P and Marshall. As soon as you played a real team, you went on the road and Tennessee kicked your butt. Joey Aguilar, they got up big on you. Blah blah blah. Blah. You're soft, you stink. You get 2 weeks of that, and that Georgia team, you get. Kirby is a world-class motivator. You give him some extra material, and I'm sure he's still going to be putting on the bad tape and being like, hey, this is where you messed up. That's where you messed up. Look at all the things we need to improve on. But
there's no real outside noise now.
Right. It's, wow, did you see Georgia? They went into Knoxville. How resilient. They beat a college football playoff team last year. What character, what grit. Gunnar Stockton throwing that pass on fourth and goal. What nuts did he have? What an amazing quarterback. He's a great leader. He's just incredible. Just placing the ball. And that Zachariah Branch, how athletic did he look? Just so fast on the outside. Nate Frazier, who's going to stop that guy? Tennessee, their great defense couldn't stop that guy. How good is Georgia going to win a national championship? Right. Are they going to be back in the picture? The Georgia Bulldogs are back. They're unbeatable. They're going to win another SEC title. Of course, you go into Knoxville, you go into Neyland, that big bad 100,000 seat environment, and they went crazy. No false starts in that environment. How what a great team Kirby has.
The last real thing that I want to say on here, and I'm sure you and Mason will talk about this a lot over the course of this week. So good, I think, that we get. This is such a big coaching duel with both teams getting 2 weeks to prepare. We're going to learn a lot about Coach DeBoer this game.
We're going to learn a lot more about Kane Womack this game.
Yeah, that's a very fair take. Womack's the one who...
Womack versus Bobo? I don't like that. I don't like that. I got some Georgia buddies that hate Mike Bobo, and I think that they are... What's the nicest way to say stupid? They are not smart. Mike Bobo was operating that entire game like, oh man, our pass protection is not that good right now. Like Tennessee's defensive line was kind of eating up the Georgia offense a little bit. Yes. And people were, he ran the ball 15 times in the third quarter. Yeah, maybe to soften them up, maybe to slow them down a little bit. I think Mike Bobo is I don't know, top 3, top 5, he's definitely in the top 10 offensive coordinators in the country.
I don't think top 5 is a stretch.
No, I don't either. I think Mike Bobo, I think he understands football and understands, oh, this is what a defense is doing to my offense. This is the counter. Like last year, he can't take the ball he can't take the ball and place it in Arian Smith's hands any better. Like all he can do is call the plays up for Carson Beck to drop the ball into Arian's. Like the first play right here against Alabama, Arian Smith going 40 yards down the sidelines, drops it. Like you can only do so much as an offensive coordinator, and then Beck kind of was overcompensating. But against Tennessee, it just looked like, oh, he understood exactly what the Tennessee defense was trying to do and exactly what to do to counter it. And so Kane Womack, hey man, get your coffee, you get your junk food, put on your metal, like whatever it takes to get into your zone, your zen, get into your den, get into your office, into your little cave, and you're gonna have to be doing some studying, my man. Because and look, Kane can do it. Kane can. I do have confidence that he will be able to put together a good plan, but I think it's going to be a long 2 weeks for Kane Womack.
Yeah, I agree with that. And man, those reactions on Monday morning after the game, if it does not go his way, I mean, people will be calling for his head.
Yes, they will be, and that'll be silly.
It will be, but it's going to happen.
One bad game, fire him. Even though I'm. All right, so we got to get out of here. We had a lot of fun today. Thank you for Theo Fernandez. You followed us at Theo Fernandez _ at Joe Gaither 6. We appreciate everybody who watched us on the Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Amazon, Spotify. You can find the Joe Gaither Show wherever you get your podcasts, and you can always call Derek Daniel for your insurance at 205-758-3391. We'll talk to you again tomorrow right here with Mason Woods and myself on the Joe Gaither Show on Bama Central and BamaCentral.com.
Thanks for joining us on today's edition of the Joe Gaither Show on Bama Central. Keep up with Joe on all his social media pages at Joe Gaither 6. Subscribe, rate, and review the show on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and be sure to read us daily at BamaCentral.com.